Hi everyone. Let me start off by explaining that it's very possible that within a year or two that the San Francisco Chronicle, that great old newspaper that we've been talking about, could wind up being owned by the organization which owns Craigslist. Now, to understand that, let's take a look at how we got to where we are with the San Francisco Chronicle. According to the website Real Clear Politics, the Chronicle is one of the top 10 newspapers in trouble. What is that list? It consists of the New York Daily News, the LA Times, the St. Paul Pioneer Press, the Chicago Sun-Times, the Detroit News, the Chronicle as I mentioned, the Miami Herald, believe it or not, the Philadelphia Daily News, and the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, which is already up for sale, but as of this reporting has no buyer. And by the way, try saying St. Paul Pioneer Press fast 3 times. Now, yesterday, according to the Chronicle, San Francisco Chronicle executives met with the California Media Guild and reached a tentative agreement so that proposed changes in the collective bargaining agreement could take place in connection with the Chronicle's request to cut costs. The agreement requires approval by the Chronicle Unit Guild members of the California Media Guild, and a ratification meeting is actually planned for this Thursday, but as of this reporting, a venue large enough had not been found. The Chronicle is threatening to cut 225 more guild positions if the union that represents journalists and other employees doesn't meet the company's demands. And that's according to the guild's website. The Chronicle has about 500 guild members, and additionally, if the union does agree to concessions, 150 guild members' jobs will be cut anyway. So really, the guild loses jobs one way or another. It's a matter of whether they lose 225 jobs or 150 jobs, but definitely a lot of people are going to lose jobs one way or the other. If the union does agree to these concessions, then it's not only possible that those 150 people will lose their jobs, but an additional number, because the Chronicle is reserving the right to contract out its services. Additionally, it's requesting cuts in benefits and in, might get this, sick leave. Now, while all of this is happening because the Chronicle lost $50 million last year alone, $50 million bucks, and they've been losing money every year since 2001, more and more people have been getting their news online. In January of this year, it was reported by the Newspaper Association of America that 74 million people went online, 74 million unique visitors went to the websites owned by all of the newspapers in America. Now, that's a record, and it's 11% greater than the year before. Why? Primarily the Obama inauguration. But get this. If you randomly pick a month of statistics for unique visitors for the social listing site Craigslist, let's say May 2008, we find that 26.7 million unique visitors were drawn by that site in that month alone. Now, what is that? That's about just over 1/3 of the total number of unique visitors for all of the websites in America for its record month of January 2009. Now, I ran a comparison using the Alexa website of the Craigslist website with SFGate and the New York Times, which you would think would be larger than all of them, right? No. Craigslist dwarfs both newspaper sites combined. Craigslist draws 60% of the total unique visitor traffic, with the New York Times a distant second. In fact, Craigslist makes the New York Times look like a tiny David versus the giant Goliath that Craigslist is. And I might add, SFGate is far below the New York Times. With all of these statistics pointing to the gargantuan website and system and company that Craigslist is, with just approximately 20 employees, Why is it that the San Francisco Chronicle didn't approach Craigslist a long time in Craig Newmark with some kind of way of doing business? I am here to report to you that they have recently talked. And while I cannot report to you the details of that discussion, I can say that it's quite possible that Craigslist will wind up owning the San Francisco Chronicle. Just what it will do with the Chronicle, should that occur, and I'm not saying it's going to occur, I said should it occur, is another point of discussion. But as of this writing, the Chronicle is basically fighting to cut its cost and save itself. But there's no guarantee that even with that cost-cutting measure and its current website design, it will see a future beyond the next 2 or 3 years.